Hey, family and friends. So when I first started doing videos, I didn't really have very good camera quality or video quality. And so I'm going to redo this video. I did it back when I first started. It's oatmeal raisin cookies, and they are so good. If you love oatmeal raisin cookies, these are divine. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need a cup of raisins, and you're going to want to put it in a bowl with warm water. Just enough to cover it, but it's going to be, you need to let them sit in there and plump for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to drain them. So we're going to set those to the side. In the meantime, you need a cup of room temperature butter. I had to melt mine a little bit. But anyway, that's 2 sticks of butter. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Okay. Then you're going to want your sugars. And we have half a cup of white sugar, and 1 full cup of brown sugar. I'll get some of the stuff out of my way. Okay. So 1 full cup of packed brown sugar. One full cup. Okay. I love this little container. My mother-in-law got it for me. Keep my sugar in there and doesn't get it, keeps it soft and everything. Okay, so we're going to start by creaming together our butter and our sugars. Now I'm going to use my hand mixer. You could probably use a whisk, but I just found it easier to use the hand mixer, so that's what I'm going to do. So there will be some sound. Are just looking just like, you know, creaming that together. Of course, I forgot the eggs. So you want 2 eggs. Let's go ahead and put those in there. Actually doing one at a time. Okay, so there's this one. Let's go ahead and stir that, or get that one mixed in. I'm not sure what the difference is doing them one at a time, but all I know is I've done it that way each time, and they always come out really, really 10 out of 10. Okay, now also to our wet mixture, we are going to add in some other things here. We need some vanilla, and we are going to do, let's see, 2 teaspoons of the vanilla. 1, 2. Okay, and then we need 1 tablespoon of unsulfured molasses or molasses. 1 tablespoon. And I find it best if I spray it, my tablespoon. Otherwise, it's really hard to get this molasses out. But I would not leave this out. Okay. It's a little bit of a mess. It's worth it. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this again. Use your spatula and scrape down the sides of your bowl because you want to get it all mixed in there together. So, okay. Okay. One more time of mixing. Okay, now we're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to do our dry mix. So we want 1.5 cups of flour. Make sure it's low. There's 1.5. Okay, now to that, we are going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Let me clean this part out here. Get the molasses, it's kind of going everywhere. Okay, so we need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I think I said baking soda, but we need a teaspoon of cinnamon. One teaspoon of baking soda. Not big enough. There we go. I had to rip it. 1 teaspoon of baking soda in with the dry mixture. And then how much salt? Let's see. Half a teaspoon of salt. I got half a teaspoon here. Okay. And then just a pinch of nutmeg. So I just give it a little shake. Like that. Okay. Now I've got a whisk, or you can use a fork. It doesn't matter. You just want to make sure this all gets mixed up really well together, because you want that baking soda to incorporate with the flour to make it work. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and mix our dry into our wet. Okay, just like that. I don't have enough room. Make sure to get the sides of your bowl with your spatula. You don't want to have any of that flour left in there. Okay, so one more time I need to go back. I got it going everywhere. Okay. So make sure this is, take your spatula. Actually get these out of your beaters first. This is good stuff. You don't want that wasted. Okay, so let's take our spatula. And we're going to go ahead and mix this all around. Make sure you dig through the bottom. Make sure there's no more flour showing. And just keep doing that until there's no more flour. Okay, and then the next step is take those raisins that have been plumping up and drain them. So we'll do that and be right back. Okay, so I did drain my raisins, and I put them in a bowl with some paper towel to kind of dry them off. I'm going to pat the tops of them to kind of get them dry a little bit. You don't want to just put them in there dripping wet or anything like that. So there we go. And that is a cup of raisins. Put that in there. Okay, we're going to mix that in. Okay, and that's what it's looking like so far. Now we're going to add 3 cups of oatmeal. Now this is the quick 1-minute oats. I don't know, I've never used the other kind, if it makes a difference or not. I've just always used this kind. But you want to go ahead and you want to mix that in there really well also. It takes more work. Okay, so there it is. It's got all the oatmeal and the raisins and everything else already in it. It needs to go to the refrigerator, and it needs to chill for 30 minutes. And then when we come back, show you what we do next. Okay, so we're back. It's been a half an hour. This has been chilling in the fridge. So we want to get a baking sheet, and I've got some parchment paper down here. And then we're going to just take our cookie scooper and we're going to make them round just like that. Make sure your hands are clean. I like to put mine in the corners first. You do want to make sure there's at least 2 inches between each cookie. If you need to kind of smush it together a little bit, you can. The cookie scooper just helps it come out in a better shape. Just go ahead and do that to the whole tray. And if I didn't mention, you do want to set your oven to 350 degrees. Go ahead and get that preheated. Okay, so like that. Go ahead and put that in your oven, 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. It's usually about 12 minutes in my oven, but all ovens are different. And we'll be back to eat them. And I did want to mention also for the rest of your dough, because you will have quite a bit left over, I just take another sheet, put some aluminum foil on it. These you can put as close together as you want. These are going to go into the freezer at least for, I think, at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But just go ahead and fill up your tray. And put these in the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. And then once that's done, you can put them in a Ziploc bag. Make sure you date it and everything. But whenever you're ready, you can just pop them onto a baking sheet with parchment paper, 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll be back for the finished product though. Okay, so these just came out. They went 12 minutes and I thought they needed just a little bit more brown for my preference. So I put them in for about another 60 seconds. But you want to make sure that you watch them if you feel like it needs a little bit more browned up. And as it sets, it will set up. Once it cools down, it will set up all around. Right now, they're just kind of hot and gooey. But anyway, yeah, you just want to make sure you watch around the edges there. You want to go to 30 to 60 second intervals so they don't get burnt. But we will try one once they've cooled down. Okay, so they've had a chance to cool down. We're going to eat them now. Something I was going to mention earlier, and I usually do it an earlier time when they're a little bit warmer. But if you have any sea salt and you just want to sprinkle just a couple of, little granules or whatever over them, or half or none, it's up to you. Just a suggestion. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. I actually got too much there. But we are going to go ahead and put these cookies on the... Okay. They've got the perfect bottom. Nice brown around the edges. 12 and a half minutes at 350 degrees. I have several left over that I'm going to freeze. Can pull out at any time. So that's the end of this video. If you guys are liking the channel at all, please give a like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're from. And we'll see you soon. Thanks.